Hey everyone, so we're here with the professor, and this is the Reaver pawn shop type build, and we're up against potential Unleashed, which is a tough matchup for us because we cut our levy. The levy is usually not needed. Like 9 to 10 times you won't use it. This is like the 10th time where you kind of really wish you had it. So we might get wrecked with our deck here, but we have the pawn shop early, so that's nice. We have Rebirth early, which we can do. Transition to Kate, get some money that way. So econ-wise, we're actually fairly happy with what's happening right here. Yes, so let's Rebirth to Kate right away. Get the discount on this Ultra, and we're going to, in fact, pawn it. So we paid 1 credit for it. We're going to sell it for 3. And it's going to be available to us at a later date if we ever need it, which is pretty cool. And we might also have Sahasrara at that point, so we can install it from our heap for $0. So there's just value everywhere. It's a value town. So he's on the restructure. Pretty cool. He's got lots of money. He's not having to play assets that will get killed by Wizard. So far, I like what I've seen of his build. Clippy's less efficient. You're going to pay 4 to sell for 3, so we're not going to do that, obviously. The Parisha, I don't know. I think we're going to pass the pawn shop this turn, because I think I actually want all of these cards. This beats Vanilla. This will beat Kamainu pretty cheaply. This will trash his Ronins, Psychic Fields, and all that. He is moneying really hard. It's making me kind of uncomfortable. I missequenced this. I should have drawn first. Like, always draw first if you're going to draw. We would have saved a buck on our Astrolabe, is the long and short of it, because of our Kate discount. So that's a fail, but he's doing nothing right now, so maybe it's not going to matter. So, looks an awful lot like a Hokusai grid. That's what I would call that. Next turn we'll probably go smash it. On the other hand, maybe not. Like, maybe we don't need to go do anything for a long time. If we fill up our MU, we're going to have Cortex Lock safety, which is kind of nice. Could be Caprice also, right? Or it could be a baddie. There could be a baddie blowing up our stuff, so a bit worried about that. I'm kind of feeling the do nothing plan. Now this daily cast, it's like okay. But once you have your Aesop engine running, it's almost more efficient to save your cards for hit points and not play this. I'm going to give him some time to draw more cards and get points in his hand. I want to kind of attack her before he uses the Jackson to save the points. There's also some concern about like hard-hitting news, right? I guess we'll see now if he has it or not. This will tell us many things about his deck. Food Future Perfect's in there, Hokusai Grid's in there, Shock's in there. So he's now discarded what you would think would be the Shock. And told us there's nothing that this is actually good for right now, so I will sell Parisha. So he's showing us agendas, saying, come on into the HQ. I think I'm going to accept. Let's go in, do a little bit. If we get this 3-pointer, we'll have a commanding lead, and the food's not bad either. Even trashing the grid out of his HQ is better than him being able to play it and ping us with it. Ooh. So Clippy would break for 1, but we have to actually put it down. I think I'm going to break. We'll get a sucker, which we can use to break for 1 with Inti in the future. Should be fine. So we'll take some hits, lose laundry, that's fine, that was a hit point. Future perfect, so he's gonna bid. All right, this is gonna be a die roll, because this is actually really important for the game. If it wasn't important for the game, I would bid kind of randomly, but the bid is going to be 2 according to the dice. Nope, we got wrecked. Let's go once more in here, because there's still the food in there too, right? Yeah. We could have fetched Imp. What do you think about fetching Imp? Is that too slow? It's like a click to fetch with Jin. This Jin fetch is super slow. Show me that global food. Oh man. Well, that's unfortunate. He doesn't have Jackson though, so it should stay in there for a little while. Now you can play Algosai Grid again on his HQ. Which is a bit unfortunate. Yeah. His points are still in there. We just need money, but he's not going anywhere. Ooh. So that's kind of fun for installing stuff with scavenge, etc. So we could fetch and install an imp here, which will save us some money. I mean, the lamprey is a bit too little too late, right? Do we install this now? If he purges it, we'll just sell it, so that's kind of fine. This is really a rough matchup for us, because if we normally want to draw our whole deck and sell our whole deck through the pawn shop, but we cannot really do that smoothly when we're worried about decking ourselves. And there go the agendas. So we kind of missed our window here. If we had hit the Future Perfect, we would have probably won this game quite easily. Now he's removed our Sentry Breaker. We've got plenty of other ones, so it's fine. He only trashed one of the agendas. How good is this sucker? It's semi-okay. I almost headed to pawn the Inti and install clip from hand for $1. And then we can build our sucker tokens up so we're spending them each time. That's like an okay play. It's not that great. It's really not that great. Let's just get our clone chip cache thing going on. I feel like we can't do too much because we don't have any money, so we'll be able to do some stuff with this. It's going to show us everything again, so we'll see which one he kept. Future Perfect's there. 2 of them are there. So we put in the bin. We start running there against the shock. This is 100% a shock, which is a bit rough, right? So that's the Kate discount. So this turn we got plenty of money to go at this HQ and hopefully do a nice steal. Future Perfect. Okay. Do we even imp it? Because if we were going to run here again, Oh, he paid 0. He has so much money, he paid 0. Works for me. I think we actually save our money and just keep running HQ for $1 at a time to get Future Perfect out of here. He has EMP, so he can't immediately kill us. He has Snare, which we just shake the tag. Actually, he snares us, we have to draw, right? There's a snare. It's fine. Doesn't have any tag punishment, though that was our 3rd pawn shop. That's too bad. We need this pawn shop, actually, so we'll risk him drawing a 2nd EMP and killing us. Pretty low percent for him. He's drawing, which is the right chance. It gives him the mandatory draw plus 1 more out to draw the EMPs. Oh, he just blasts for 1. I think that's 100% wrong. I think you want to save them in hand. I know his hand space isn't the most, but yeah, I think he really wants to save it like that. Clicking to draw. So we have this imp, which is potentially pretty good to hit some stuff at his HQ. I don't think that's anything, right? It's playing in the remote. So is he hiding the food in here? He knows you can run for a credit. So what's his thought process? Is it worth playing out the copy of Parisha here? I don't think it is. It's worth playing the Deus Ex here to tank a snare. Maybe it is. Oh, this is an icebreaker, so it can't go on there. Yeah, we'll just install it then. It's fine. Future Perfect. All right. I don't know if we can bid or 2 here. I really can't tell. So I could random it. We're so poor. I think he's going to bid 1. Oh, he paid 0. I'm going to run it again. I think the food's still in there. So I won't imp it. I'll imp other cards to increase the chance I hit the food or the Future Perfect. Yeah, that's definitely imp worthy. We need pawn fodder next turn. So this is fine. I can pawn it twice. Sneaking in knives out there. Not too shabby. That's actually a lot of damage, right? I don't want losing any of these cards, so I'll run now. He'll probably knife me. Arc lockdown. Do we care about that? Probably not. We already have most of our breakers on the table that are relevant. Okay. So we need a fresh imp. Maybe doing this now is not right. Hang on. Because if he purges, I'll be kind of sad. Yeah. If he purges my imp right away, I'll be kind of sad now because I'm running out of chances to recur him. Next turn I'll get a fresh imp first click, and then I'll go in his HQ again and get rid of that arc lockdown. We could have run this. I think it's probably like DNA tracker, and it would have been expensive. So our David is here. We need the third clone ship to really get at him. We also could scavenge to get the David, which is not bad, if we think he's going to make a good play here. He's trashing big, so he might have dumped multiple snares and the points, which is pretty good for him if he does that. All right. Let's see if you got those breaker in there, or those agendas in there still. Yes, that's what we're looking for. So one future perfect, and we're happy campers. Actually, field now is a win also. Ah, shock. I think I pay real money to trash that. So our pressure would have been okay, but it's also a hit point that we need, so we won't use it. Did I pawn this turn? Yeah, I forgot to pawn this this Harbinger. He was down in the corner and I missed him. Better late than never, I guess. So this is nice we care about. Or is it random garbage? If it's a code gate, it does stop us. Man, it's almost late for this Reaver. What do you think? Like, our stack's gonna run out before we can even do much with it. I think it is gonna run out before we can do much with it. So we'll just sit tight. I hate running here because of the double shock, which means he knows like he can hide agendas in here. It's tough. Deus Ex is not great to prevent 1 damage. This is better for taking a snare out of his hand. So we're on 5 points. We want the Philotic or the Fetal. We definitely don't want like random House of Knives. Arc lockdown my Faust. What's he saying? Yeah, that's fine. Well, it's not the best because, in fact, now code gates are a bit of an issue for us. Like an Enigma, kind of problematic. So I think we now pawn this, and we'll get our clip out in case there's a bigger barrier somewhere down the line. DNA tracker could be annoying. What is this? Yeah, that's all right. Where's our parasite at? We didn't get it yet. So we'll take a damage from that. It's fine. Burn the fairy here. We'll kill a parasite in the later date. So we'll get our Clippy out, get our Sahazra money, and now it's safe from Arc Lockdown. And we can deal with like a Bastion or a bigger like Wall of Thorns, I don't know. And we'll build our sucker tokens up, so that's nice. Get the food, and there it is. He wasn't really able to score, right? He's kind of milling us and milling us. But until our deck actually runs out, it doesn't really matter. That's the thing with this ID. Once the stack is empty, we can't draw to replace our cards, and then we're in trouble. But until then, we're just filling our heap, which really helps us as a general rule. We like to play from the heap as shapers. and really as anarchs too. So that's kind of the key problem with this ID. You need to actually exhaust their entire stack before your ID really has a relevant effect that's not actually helping the runner. In this case, we were kind of getting close, but also we were making accesses right. And if you lose a real three-pointer, it's so rough. So I like having Imp. This is one of my favorite cards, not because of the art. I kind of dislike the art, but I like the effect of it. It's very fairly costed, and you can trash any card, which is cool. And the Corp actually has counterplay by purging, which is it creates interesting board states, I guess. So having this in the deck makes me happy. I think we're getting our value out of Professor ID with all the various splashes we have that are pretty high influence, like 4 for Reaver. I'm actually happy with the Djinn too. If only because you can tutor your Parasite if you really, really need to. This ability is quite expensive, like you're paying $1 to draw. You could discount it with like Multi-Threader if you wanted to, but Multi-Threader I find is not as good as Sahasrah because a lot of turns you're going to kill ice with Parasite rather than breaking it, or you're going to use these trash breakers like Trash to Break, 0 to Break, Center Subroutine. You're not necessarily even paying to break ice in this deck, which is a good way to do it. You know, paying for ice is like the sad way to break ice. And I feel like it has a reasonable amount of HQ pressure between the Imp and the Lamprey. Like, they can't really just neglect the Lamprey, they have to deal with it. And especially some of the kind of rushier decks don't have a ton of extra credits, and you can get them in a lock where they try to put ice in front of their HQ, and then you just Parasite it, and then they have to purge it, and then you get a full turn to do whatever you want, etc. So nice to have a little one of. The medium, I don't know. I thought I would use it more, but it turns out that usually if you just remote lock them, you can go to HQ for it. I think the code gate maybe is what we need to think about here. So you can play Yogg, but Yogg is 5 to install, which is a little pricey. If you're not already Kate at that point, or have your Sahasrah, it's really expensive to play down. And then you need your sucker to really break most code gates, and then Lotus Field's a bit of an issue too. So I've been thinking of using Faust for code gates or Parasite. It's been all right so far, but you could definitely see getting exploited with that. Like Rebirth is good for sure. Like it's $1 a turn, often $1 on the turn too. But you have to compare it to like Stim Hack where you get $9 up front, or even like Career Fair, right? We don't have enough targets for it, but Career Fair is like 3 and a click. So it takes all for Rebirth is that good. But where we run the fairly poor deck, it can make sense. It also lets you kind of pawn your stuff for profit, right? If we wanted to install MK Ultra every turn for $1 with Kate's discount and then pawn it for 3, it's all right. Yeah, I mean, it does well in the casual room. I think this is fine for a jank. And you still have... It does take advantage of all your fundamentals, right? If you can attack the right server at the right time, put pressure where they don't want you to run, you have what you need to outplay your opponents most of the time. It's rare the deck will completely, like, crap out, but it will sometimes with a pawn shop. You just won't get it, and then you'll be very sad. But it doesn't have the raw power, certainly, of, like, the more meta wizard decks where it's like turn 1 I'm going to play Faust, take all your money, and just snowball from there kind of thing, or like draw like 20 cards from Hades Shard. There's nothing really broken in here. It's all just like good solid Netrunner in a meta where like really busted stuff is what wins tournaments. All right, thanks for watching.